Let's make one thing perfectly clear. Being a smart woman isn't about how many qualifications you hold or how perfectly you manage life. It's about something much deeper. It's about how you show up for yourself, the way you think, the choices you make, and the life you create that fills you with pride. I want to share with you 7 essential principles that define truly intelligent women. These principles don't just help you get through life, they help you thrive. They empower you to build self-confidence, earn respect, and shape a life that is truly yours. The first thing you need to understand is that confidence is everything. But here's the truth: confidence isn't something you are just born with. It is something you grow and develop each time you stand up for yourself, every time you take action despite feeling afraid, and every time you trust yourself to deal with whatever challenges life throws at you. With each of these actions, you strengthen your confidence. The women who are the smartest aren't the ones who never have self-doubt. They are the ones who refuse to let that doubt stop them from moving forward. The second principle is that a smart woman is clear-headed. She doesn't let emotions control her actions. Instead, she pauses, thinks, and responds with clarity, not chaos. Good leaders operate with both intelligence and emotion, but they balance their instincts and impulses with thoughtful reflection. The truly intelligent woman takes the time to consider her responses, carefully applying her instincts when necessary. She is stronger because of this ability to pause and think before reacting. The third principle is that she is in charge of her own decisions. She doesn't let others dictate her life or her choices. While she listens to advice and considers different viewpoints, the final decision is always hers. She recognizes that she is the only one who has to live with the consequences of her choices. This sense of ownership over her decisions gives her both power and responsibility, and it's what sets her apart. She doesn't blame others for her failures, and she doesn't attribute her success to luck. She takes full responsibility for both. The fourth principle is that a smart woman understands the value of self-care. She knows that in order to show up for others, she must first show up for herself. This includes physical, mental, and emotional care. She makes time for rest, she nourishes her body, and she takes steps to protect her peace. This is not a selfish act, but rather a necessary one. Only when she is at her best can she give her best to the world. A smart woman also understands that boundaries are essential in protecting her well-being. She doesn't feel guilty for saying no when necessary because she knows her worth and her limits. The fifth principle is that a smart woman continuously seeks personal growth. She doesn't sit back and wait for life to happen to her. She actively seeks out opportunities to improve herself. Whether through reading, learning new skills, or challenging herself in uncomfortable situations, she is always evolving. A smart woman values education, not just formal education, but self-education and life lessons. She embraces growth as a lifelong journey and is never afraid to step out of her comfort zone. The sixth principle is that she surrounds herself with the right people. The women who are truly wise know that the people they choose to have in their lives play a huge role in shaping their experiences. They carefully curate their inner circle, choosing individuals who uplift them, support them, and challenge them to be their best. They recognize that the company you keep can either elevate or drain you, and they choose wisely. They seek out mentors, peers, and friends who inspire them to be better versions of themselves. They also know that they need to let go of toxic relationships, even if it's difficult. The seventh and final principle is that a smart woman understands the importance of resilience. Life is unpredictable, and no one is immune to setbacks. What distinguishes a truly intelligent woman is her ability to bounce back from adversity. She knows how to cope with challenges, learn from mistakes, and use them as stepping stones for future success. She doesn't give up when things get tough. Instead, she uses each challenge as an opportunity to grow stronger. A smart woman knows that failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of success. To sum up, being a truly smart woman goes beyond external accomplishments. It's about developing the qualities that help you thrive in any situation. It's about having confidence in yourself and your decisions, responding with clarity in moments of chaos, and taking responsibility for your own life. It's about knowing when to take care of yourself, continuously seeking personal growth, surrounding yourself with supportive people, and maintaining resilience in the face of challenges. These are the principles that define a truly smart woman, and embracing them will help you create a life that makes you proud. Because of this, she earns respect wherever she goes. The third principle is something that far too many women overlook. Financial independence is essential if you want true freedom. You can't depend on someone else to take care of you financially. You don't need to be extremely wealthy, but you do need to understand your money, where it's going, how you're saving it, and how you're investing it. A smart woman takes charge of her financial future because she knows that financial dependence limits her options. Next, let's talk about something that will change your life once you master it: setting and enforcing boundaries. A smart woman isn't a people pleaser. She doesn't say yes to everything. She doesn't let toxic people drain her energy, and she doesn't allow others to take advantage of her kindness. She knows her worth and isn't afraid to say no when something doesn't align with her values or well-being. The moment you stop letting people cross your boundaries, you step into your power in a way that transforms your life completely. And finally, the smartest women never stop learning. The world is always changing, and if you're not learning, you're falling behind. A smart woman reads, listens, asks questions, and stays open to new ideas. She doesn't let pride or ego stand in the way of her growth. She adapts, adjusts, and constantly works on becoming the best version of herself. So here's the truth. Being a smart woman isn't about knowing everything. It's about choosing to build your confidence, mastering emotional intelligence, and continuously growing. It's about making decisions that align with your values, taking control of your financial future, and never stopping your pursuit of knowledge. Taking control of your finances, setting strong boundaries, and committing to lifelong learning is all part of what it means to be truly empowered. It's about believing in your own capabilities and knowing that you are deserving of a life you love. The decision to create that life is entirely in your hands. Are you ready to become the smartest, strongest, and most unstoppable version of yourself? Because I promise you, she's already within you. It's time to let her out. Confidence isn't about always feeling sure of yourself. It's about deciding that no matter what comes your way, you'll figure it out. The smartest women don't wait until they feel completely ready. They take action first, and confidence follows. Each time you push forward, even when you're afraid or uncertain, you prove to yourself that you are capable. That is how confidence grows. Think about it for a moment. When was the last time you did something for the very first time? Maybe you spoke up in a meeting, went somewhere alone, or made a decision that scared you. In that moment, you probably felt nervous, maybe even unprepared, but you did it anyway. And guess what? You survived. Maybe it wasn't perfect, but what you gained was far more valuable than perfection. You gained proof that you can handle difficult situations, and that, my friend, is confidence. Confidence isn't a personality trait, it's a skill. And like any skill, it must be practiced. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that confidence comes only after success. That's not how it works. Confidence is born from action, from showing up for yourself, from pushing beyond what you once believed you couldn't do. If you want to feel more confident, start by taking small risks every single day. Your brain is wired to keep you safe. It doesn't care about your dreams, your ambitions, or your potential. Its only goal is to protect you from discomfort and uncertainty. That's why, when you step outside your comfort zone, your mind fills with doubt. What if I fail? What if I embarrass myself? What if I'm not good enough? But here's what smart women know. Those thoughts are not facts. They're just fear trying to keep you small. So, what do? You push past that fear with action. You take that first step, and when your mind tries to hold you back, you remind yourself, I don't need to feel ready. I just need to begin. That's why confidence and courage go hand in hand. Confidence doesn't come first, courage does. Confidence is the reward for taking bold action. Let's talk about failure, because it's one of the biggest things that stops women from feeling confident. Somewhere along the way, we were taught that failure is something to be ashamed of, that if you don't get it right the first time, you're not good enough. But the smartest women think differently. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a necessary part of success. Every mistake, every setback, every rejection is all feedback. It's all information that helps you grow. Now think about the most confident woman you know. She wasn't born that way. She's experienced setbacks, that faced challenges, and doubted herself, but she kept going. She kept pushing, and with each challenge she overcame, she became stronger. That's what real confidence is. It's not about having no fear. It's about refusing to let fear control you. So how do you build this kind of confidence? You practice it daily. You speak up even when your voice shakes. You make decisions without over-explaining yourself. You take up space without apologizing. And most importantly, you stop waiting for permission. Confident women don't need approval to go after what they want. They trust themselves enough to take action. Another key to confidence is to stop comparing yourself to others. The moment you start measuring your worth based on someone else's life, you give away your power. Smart women know that confidence comes from within, not from social media, not from seeking approval, and not from being better than someone else. It comes from knowing that you are enough just as you are. Confidence isn't about always feeling great about yourself. It's about showing up, taking action, and proving to yourself that you are capable, even when you have doubts. Because each time you do something you once thought was impossible, you become stronger. And the stronger you become, the less fear holds you back. That's when you step into your full power. That's when you start living on your own terms, and that's when you truly become unstoppable. Smart women understand that boundaries are not barriers, they are guidelines for how they expect to be treated. They don't set boundaries to shut people out, but to protect their peace, their time, and their energy. Too often women are taught to be pleasers, to say yes when they mean no, to avoid confrontation, and to put others' needs first. But the reality is, if you don't set your own boundaries, others will set them for you, and that is how you end up drained, resentful, and exhausted. Boundaries are about respect, with self-respect coming first. If you don't honor your own limits, you can't expect others to. Many women feel guilty about setting boundaries because they think it makes them selfish. But smart women know that boundaries are an act of self-care. They are a declaration of confidence. They say to the world, this is what I accept and this is what I do not. So, how do you begin setting boundaries? First, you need to be clear about what your limits are. What drains your energy? What makes you feel disrespected? What are you putting up with that you shouldn't be? If something makes you feel uneasy, exhausted, or taken for granted, that's a sign that a boundary needs to be established. The next step is to communicate those boundaries clearly and confidently. Wise women don't over-explain, apologize excessively, or feel the need to justify their choices. They simply say, I can't do that, or that doesn't work for me, or I need some time for myself. Notice there's no lengthy excuse, no guilt-ridden explanation, just a direct and firm statement. And guess what? That is more than enough. The toughest part of setting boundaries isn't saying them, it's enforcing them. Here's what will happen. People who have benefited from your lack of boundaries will not be pleased when you start setting them. They may try to guilt trip you, push back, or make you feel like you're in the wrong. But that's not a reason to back down. It's actually proof that you are doing exactly what you need to do. A wise woman knows that boundaries aren't about controlling others. They are about managing herself. She doesn't set a boundary and then just hope others respect it. She sets it and takes action if it is crossed. If someone consistently ignores your boundaries, you limit their access to you. If a friend keeps unloading their problems on you but never values your time, you stop answering every call. If a coworker keeps pushing extra work onto you, you start saying, that's not something I can take on right now. Now, let's talk about guilt, because it's the biggest reason many women struggle with boundaries. When you're used to putting everyone else first, choosing yourself can feel wrong at first. You might think you're being unkind or selfish, but let me remind you of something. Your needs matter. Your time matters. Your peace matters. And anyone who truly values you will respect the boundaries you set. The people who get upset about your boundaries are the ones who are benefiting from you having none. Here's the amazing part. When you start setting boundaries, your confidence grows. You stop feeling like a victim of other people's expectations and start taking control of your life. You feel lighter, freer, and most importantly, you begin attracting people who respect and appreciate you for who you truly are. In the end, boundaries teach people how to treat you. They are about saying, I matter, my needs are important, and I will not accept less than I deserve. Wise women don't wait for permission to set boundaries. They understand that protecting their energy isn't just an option, it's essential. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop. Wise women know that confidence isn't just about how you look or speak. It's about how you carry yourself, how you trust yourself, and how you exist in the world without apologizing for it. The truth is, confidence isn't a feeling, it's a decision. It's choosing every single day to believe that you are worthy, capable, and enough, even when you don't feel like it. One of the biggest mistakes women make is waiting to feel confident before they take action. They think, I'll speak up in the meeting when I feel more prepared, or I'll pursue that opportunity when I feel ready. But here's what wise women know. Confidence means trusting yourself enough to take action regardless of what others think. It's about knowing that you are enough without needing anyone else to tell you that. When you stop seeking validation from others, you take back your power. Confidence is about understanding your worth not because someone else says so, but because you choose to believe it yourself. When you stop needing people to like you, when you stop trying to prove yourself to everyone around you, you free yourself. Because confidence isn't about being liked, it's about being respected. And respect begins with how you treat yourself. That means speaking up when something feels off. It means saying no to things that don't align with your values. It means walking away from situations and people that make you feel small. And most importantly, it means accepting that you deserve respect simply for being who you are. Confidence also grows when you make decisions that are aligned with your true self. When you start making choices that reflect your values, your boundaries, and your goals, you build a strong sense of self-trust. And with every choice you make, you prove to yourself that you are in control of your life. Each decision, each step forward, strengthens the foundation of confidence beneath you. So here's the key. Confidence doesn't come from external sources. It's something you cultivate inside. It grows through action, by pushing past self-doubt, by showing up, and by consistently following through on promises to yourself. It's about knowing you're worthy of everything you desire and trusting yourself enough to go after it. It means owning who you are, flaws and all, without apology. Confident women don't shrink themselves to make others comfortable. They don't dim their light so others can shine. They take up space, they use their voice, and they know their worth is not up for debate. Now, let's talk about body language. Confidence isn't just in your mind, it's in your posture. When you walk into a room, how you carry yourself speaks before you even say a word. Shoulders back, chin up, steady eye contact. You don't have to feel confident to look confident, and when you look confident, you start to feel it. Studies show that the way you hold yourself directly affects how you think and feel about yourself. So if you want to feel more powerful, start acting like you already are. And here's the final piece. Confident women understand that failure is not the opposite of success, as part of it. Every confident person you admire has failed more times than they can count. The difference. They don't let failure define them. They don't let it mean they're not good enough. They see it as proof that they are trying, learning, and growing. At the end of the day, confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something you create. It's not about being fearless, it's about taking action despite your fears. And when you commit to that, when you stop letting doubt take control, when you start showing up as the woman you want to be, every single day, that's when everything changes. Boundaries aren't about shutting people out. They're about protecting your energy, your time, and your well-being. Wise women understand that saying yes to everyone and everything is the quickest way to exhaustion and resentment. They know that boundaries aren't selfish, they're necessary. They are a statement of self-respect, and when you set them, you teach people how to treat you. The challenge is that many women have been conditioned to believe that setting boundaries makes them difficult, unkind, or unlikable. We are taught to be agreeable, to accommodate, to prioritize others before ourselves. As a result, we end up drained, overcommitted, and frustrated, all because we are afraid of disappointing others. But here's the truth. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve you, you are saying no to your priorities, no to your peace, and no to the things that truly matter to you. And that's not strength, it's self-abandonment. Wise women understand that setting boundaries is not about controlling others, it's about taking control of themselves and their lives and holding themselves responsible for honoring those choices. If something makes you uneasy, if something drains your energy, if something goes against your values, you have every right to set a limit. And the best part, you don't owe anyone a long, drawn-out explanation. No is a full sentence. The first step to establishing boundaries is recognizing where they are needed. Pay attention to the parts of your life where you feel resentment, frustration, or exhaustion. Those emotions are signals. They are telling you that something isn't right, that something needs to change. Maybe it's a friend who always takes but never gives. Maybe it's a family member who invades your personal space. Maybe it's a work obligation that is stealing your time. Whatever it may be, acknowledge it, because once you see it for what it is, you can start making a change. The second step is communication. People cannot respect boundaries they aren't aware of. Wise women don't expect others to just understand. They clearly express their needs, and they do it with confidence. Not with anger, not with guilt, but with certainty and firmness. They don't say, "I'm really sorry, but I just can't." They say, "I feel bad, but I really need time for myself." They say, "I need time for myself." Because when you set a boundary with hesitation, you leave room for discussion. When you establish it with confidence, you make it clear that it's non-negotiable. Now, let's be honest, some people won't like your boundaries, and that's fine. The people who genuinely respect and care for you will honor them. The ones who get upset, those are the ones who benefited from you having none, and that's not your problem to solve. Your job is not to manage other people's reactions. Your job is to protect your own peace. And here's where most struggle: enforcing the boundary. Setting a boundary is one thing, sticking to it when people test it is another, and they will test it. The moment you start saying no, the moment you start prioritizing yourself, some people will push back. They will guilt trip you, try to make you feel bad, or convince you to return to your old ways. This is the moment where you either hold the line or fold. Strong women hold the line. They do not bend just to make someone else comfortable. They know that every time they allow someone to cross a boundary, they are teaching them that it's acceptable to do so, and that's no longer an option. One of the most powerful things a woman can do is stand firm in her boundaries without apology, because boundaries reflect self-worth. They say, I respect myself enough not to allow this. They say, I value my energy enough not to tolerate this. They say, I love myself enough to put myself first. And when you embrace that level of self-respect, you inspire other women to do the same. At the end of the day, boundaries are not about shutting people out. They are about protecting what matters most: your time, your energy, your mental health, your peace. And the moment you master this, the moment you start enforcing your boundaries with confidence and without guilt, you will notice a shift. You will feel lighter, stronger, and more in control. You will no longer feel like a doormat. You'll no longer feel drained. You'll no longer feel like your life is dictated by what others want from you. The reality is, the most successful, fulfilled women are not the ones when they do everything for everyone. They are the ones who know their limits, protect their peace, and refuse to betray themselves just to keep others happy. And if you want to step into that version of yourself, it starts with one thing: setting boundaries and never apologizing for it. Confidence is not something you're born with. It is something you develop. It is a muscle that strengthens with use. Smart women understand that confidence is not about knowing everything or never feeling doubt. It's about taking action in spite of it. It's about showing up even when you don't feel ready. The truth is, no one ever feels 100% prepared all the time. If you wait for confidence before taking action, you'll be waiting forever. Confidence comes from doing, from taking risks, from proving to yourself that you are capable. Most people think confidence means being fearless. It doesn't. It means being willing to fail, willing to look foolish, willing to make mistakes. Every successful, powerful woman you admire has felt fear, has doubted herself, has battled imposter syndrome. The difference is she didn't let those feelings stop her. She took action anyway. She stepped into the room. She spoke up. She made the decision. Confidence is built in those small moments where you choose courage over comfort. One of the biggest confidence killers is overthinking. Smart women know that overthinking is simply another form of self-doubt. It's a trap that keeps you stuck. You sit there analyzing every possible scenario, worrying about what others might think, convincing yourself that you're not good enough. The longer you stay in that space, the harder it becomes to take action. The best way to stop overthinking is to decide and move. Take action before your mind talks you out of it. The more you do this, the more you train yourself to trust your instincts. And that's where confidence grows, from self-trust. The way you carry yourself has a massive impact on your confidence. Your body language sends a message not just to others, but to yourself. If you walk into a room with slumped shoulders, avoiding eye contact, and speaking softly, you are signaling to yourself that you don't belong. But if you stand tall, make eye contact, and speak clearly, you instantly feel more powerful. Research has proven that adopting confident body language, like standing with your shoulders back or using open gestures, actually shifts your brain chemistry, making you feel more in control. Smart women use this to their advantage. They don't just think confidence, they embody it. Another key element in building confidence is self-talk. Your mind believes what you tell it repeatedly. If you constantly say, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, or I always mess things up, your brain will find proof to support those beliefs. But if you start telling yourself, I am capable, I will figure this out, and I belong here, your brain will begin to accept that as truth. Smart women are intentional with their inner dialogue. They don't allow negative self-talk to run unchecked. When a doubtful thought arises, they challenge it and replace it with a stronger belief. They understand that the most important conversation they will ever have is the one they have with themselves. Failure is not the opposite of confidence, it is part of the journey. Every mistake, every rejection, every setback is a lesson. Smart women don't see failure as a sign to quit. They see it as feedback. They analyze what went wrong, adjust, and try again. The most confident women are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who refuse to let failure define them. They don't dwell on their mistakes. They learn from them. They understand that confidence is not built by avoiding failure. It is built by pushing through it. Confidence is also about who you surround yourself with. If you spend time around people who constantly doubt you, put you down, or fail to believe in your potential, their negativity will seep into your mindset. Smart women are deliberate about who they allow into their circle. They surround themselves with people who challenge them, uplift them, and see their potential even when they don't see it themselves. They don't waste energy trying to prove their worth to those who don't support them. Instead, they invest in relationships that strengthen their confidence rather than drain it. At the end of the day, confidence is a choice. It's not about waiting until you feel ready, waiting until you feel fearless, or waiting for someone to validate you. It's about deciding that you are enough, that you are worthy, and that you are capable. The smartest women know that confidence isn't something given, it's something taken. And the moment you claim it, everything changes.